Trouble keeping up with the Joneses? It's the coach. And this is the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, Aaron Jones, no picnic a week ago. He's looking for another big game, as it'll be the New Orleans Saints taking on the Green Bay Packers. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godwin and Charles Davis.
And we come to you from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Green Bay Packers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by their 6-foot quarterback. You may have heard of him. From Purdue, it's Drew Brees.
And he made both sides happy last week, didn't he?
3-3.
I mean, his guys, they caught 3 touchdown passes, but he threw 3 interceptions. Got to get off of that schneid and get back to just throwing touchdown passes and taking care of the ball better.
Ready? 95-56, 95-56. Watch the whip.
On 1st and 10, here's Brees. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's 2nd down.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
Well, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
They've got his man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. How about a 39-yard pickup? They'll take it. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run. Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already into field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field, but at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here too.
And just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose. Brees looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
On 2nd and 7, Breeze. Pass incomplete. We'll take a look at the starters here defensively for the Packers. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, the head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
Eighth play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. From the gun, it's Breeze. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Zadarius Smith in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
No touchdown there, but if that first drive is any indication, looks like they're going to have a pretty good day passing the football.
I would say confidence would have to be pretty high after that first drive, able to throw it almost at will. You're exactly right. They didn't get the touchdown, but 3 points serves as a nice notice about how this offense is going to move.
So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
You ain't doing nothing.
On 1st down, Rodgers being chased out left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. And now the offensive starters for the Packers.
It's tough to be an offensive lineman in Green Bay because their quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, knows how to keep plays alive and often extends them for 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds. But David Bakhtiari, his left tackle, he does it as well as anyone could ever expect. Excellent footwork. Knows that the plays are going to stay alive for a long time. Often will get 2 or 3 blocks on the same play.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Here's Rodgers throwing again. He gets this to Devontae Adams. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Here's Rodgers to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he brings this up to the 46, good enough for the first. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. Tackled there by Alex Anzalone. Well, look now at our starting defense. They come into play number 12 in the NFL against the run.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Man left, man left. 4 down. Check.
Now it's Rodgers. And able to find Allen Lazard. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
56. Mike's 56. Here we go.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. And Adams has it complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Plant. Move. Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
Rodgers now on 1st down. He's got the 1st down inside the 10. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Aaron Jones, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers have taken the lead. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run, end result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Crosby with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 11 carries, 56 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes a leading rusher.
Throwing right, and that's complete. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Now Breeze. He's going to float this one deep. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jair Alexander.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Hey, take 26. 6 man.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. Back for the second quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
56, 56, check 56. Watch the pass, watch the pass.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. From the 25 on second down, Breeze. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. The Saints on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Shotgun now for Breeze. And he finds Cook. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And now it's second down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 11 more yards that go around. A first down as well.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. And let's see who's faster.
That's complete right around the 8. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made, no grounding. Throwing now is Breeze. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Packers now to take over. They've got the lead right now. You remember last week they defeated the Carolina Panthers here. Good momentum. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. The defensive line made pretty easy work of the offensive line that time.
And people get tired of the cliche that the battle is won in the trenches. But it's a cliche because it's true. And how about the battle right there? One on the edge, and the ball carrier did not benefit.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
There's Breeze. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Well, that'll get them the 1st down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Breeze now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Dean Lowry in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 4. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. 2 minutes remaining in this 1st half of football. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing again. Rodgers out of the backfield. This is Aaron Jones. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Rodgers now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10.
56, right there, 56. Check safety, check.
Working from the gun, Rodgers looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Flush to his right. Looking deep for Adams. And that is caught. One-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in.
Let's go.
A big play there just before half. Time, 46 yards. They come out here in the eye. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Rodgers throwing quickly out to Adams. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal.
6 guys. Check 6 guys.
And again, it's Rodgers. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So can this New Orleans defense stand tall again? 3rd and goal.
Tight down. There you go. Box it. Box it to the backfield. 47's the mic.
Here's Jones. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Aaron Jones with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
And that lead is now 7 with a chance to go to 8 or more if they want to get crazy here, which we don't expect. But I just know the way the game's being played with the analytics, there's going to be a lot more of going for 2 in a lot of situations, isn't there?
Yeah, there's going to be. And I think their focus here, they don't want to give up anything going into the lockers on the other, and just a little bit of time left on the clock.
Hey, they don't want to do anything to erase the good feeling they have right now by getting this late score in the half.
That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here now, a look at Drew Brees in our player spotlight. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
Waiting. Check.
So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, where it was the Ravens who get the win at home. Lamar Jackson leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we'll stay in the AFC North and head over to Cleveland to check on the Browns. And they fall in that one to the visiting Indianapolis Colts. 23-6, the final score. And finally, a good one on Monday Night Football between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. In our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. His guys have the lead, as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Tighten up, tighten up. Pull it together.
Plant. 56. Mike, 56 right there. 30. Five.
We got to step it up. Mike, 56.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain of 22.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a first down carry by Jones. He'll get 3 up to midfield. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
I got one. Hatch it. Check three.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. Dancing to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
To throw is Rodgers. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open. And
a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. On 2nd and 11 now. Breeze breaks through the contact. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape, because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Breeze. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Preston Smith there on the stop.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off, and try and chip someone at the second level.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
So it's a third field goal for him now. He's accounted for all 9 points. And look down to the sideline, though. You can just tell they weren't too happy for 3. They wanted 6.
So they have to have 6. Look, he's keeping them afloat, but they really need to do exactly what you talked about. They need to get into the end zone and score some touchdowns. Otherwise, he's going to have to kick a lot more field goals than just the 3 he's already put through the posts.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll go again to Jones. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Got a man. It's Tanyan complete. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Get 300. Get 300. Hey, seam 6. Seam 6.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. He got 29 yards that time. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On 3rd down, Rodgers. Complete to Jones. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that'll push the lead up to 8. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here now, a look at Drew Brees in our player spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
Now, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones at a first down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now.
And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Brees now. And that is incomplete. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence. Supreme confidence. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Dean Lowry, his second sack of the night.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
To try again after the sack. Brees. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Give him 18 there, and the Saints have a first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Brees now on first down. Complete. Smith has it. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Ready? 5-9. I
got you, boy. What's tight? Tight ends work.
Brees now on first down. To the end end zone, but it's incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. But it'll be second down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
And this one complete to Smith. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They'll run it with Kamara, and he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara with touchdown number 7 on the year, as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the fourth quarter.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territories. And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. And the failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
And they'll have excellent field position to begin this drive as he's all the way up to midfield at the 50.
After return to midfield, I just wish we could open up the heads of the offensive and defensive coordinators, because right now the wheels have to be spinning because things just changed. Offensive playbook just opens up, and now on defense, do you play aggressively or do you lay back a little bit to try and calm things down?
Bravo!
Mike's 47. Mike's 47.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Demario Davis coming in for the sack that time. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Rodgers gonna throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Hey, Delta.
Now Rodgers on third down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Rankins able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning.
Oh, they come after him, and it's blocked. It's picked up. Remember, the ball is live. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. As his guys are in for 6. And once again, the Saints are back out in front.
Partners, you well know, every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
Fielded about a yard deep. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Again, it's Jones. And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mario Edwards flies in to blow that play up.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
56. Mike, 56, right there, right there.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers, and his throw here's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. And that is incomplete. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. So the failure to convert, no doubt, really hurts. But this one's not over. A good chunk of time on the clock and the timeouts.
Yeah, not only do they have the timeouts, as you just noted, they're going to get an extra one with the 2-minute warning. And that's going to help them big way. So in a sense, they have 4 timeouts in their pocket. The big thing, stopping them on defense now. They can't let them get a first down and make them use their timeouts and get a fresh set of downs. They've got to stop them right here. And if so, they've still got an opportunity.
Now on 2nd and 13. Breeze looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important 3rd down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So Aaron Rodgers and his offense down by 5, 2:23 to play. They'll have 2 timeouts and, of course, also the 2-minute warning as they go to work on 1st down. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Shotgun now for Rodgers. It's complete to Jones. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down. To throw, it's Rodgers. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Robert Tonyan was the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Rodgers now going to throw again. That's caught by Hollister. We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They face a critical third down now, needing a score here in the late going. Back to throw, and Adams has it complete. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you go to 50. Hey, you block over here. 56.
Now Rodgers. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
To throw is Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Adams. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 40. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
They'll look to throw. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Here we go, D. Hey, it's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Hey, 88. 56. Check 56.
Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15.
Partner, you got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. He'll look to throw. He's got the hook up to Lazard. He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive. Back to throw, Rodgers. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. And down by 5, they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Hey, Zoo.
56 is mine. 56 is mine. All day.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. He's back to throw. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal.
Mike 56.
Rodgers to throw. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. So now Rodgers will lead the Packers up to go for 2. Rodgers to throw once more. And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their fourth-quarter lead. So that effort gives him a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary, but you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Packers, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1, and they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss, and they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.